do have English language commentary on the red button with Nick Webb and Kerry Sweeney. Ond yn y Gymraeg, draw â ni at Alan Lewis a Kenneth Davies.
Diolch yn fawr, Gareth.
Very much indeed, Gareth. Yes, something has to give then at Parc Arias. Two teams coming in with 100% records. Three changes for Wales. George Gasson on the wing, Billy McBride at fly half, and Adam Beard at lock forward. They're still without several players because of regional calls. Fly halves Dan Jones and Jared Evans, and Owen Watkin in the centre. France arrive here on the back of two big victories. They thrashed Italy by 40 points to 3, and they beat Ireland by 34 points to 13. Just three changes from that match out in Narbonne. The referee is Sean Gallagher of Ireland, and it is Les Bleus to get us underway. So Wales seniors victorious. Can the juniors join them? That's a knock-on straight away from Wales from the kick-off, and France have it for Dupont, getting it away to Berlot, quickly getting the winger Rudy into the action. Back from Dupont to Berlot again. Verhaag, the second row, taking it up the 10-metre line. France going through the phases. Septar trying to slip it there to Prop Caste, he's the captain. And away again on the French side. Gandebe from the Parisian Club Massy, but he's lost the ball in contact over the touchline. And Wales will get the throw in to the line out. Kerry Sweeney, decent Welsh defence there in that first phase of play.
Yeah, great. Turn the ball over straight away. Ideally, that's what they would want. Great start by France as well, though. Got the ball back off the kickoff. Exactly what they would have been trying to do. But good start by Wales again defensively. I think they're looking pretty solid so far.
Back 10 metres, please.
Be a few players during the course of the evening that Kerry Sweeney can tell us about, having encountered them in the Principality Premiership, as David Hughes finds his man towards the tail of the line out. And Sean Evans, the Scarlets flanker, has got that one firmly up the jumper, and that is good progress from the Welsh youngsters as Ruben Morgan-Williams waits. Man of the match against Scotland at this ground last time out. Gets it away. Is that a late challenge? Looked close to it. Keelan Giles disputes, but it's snapped up by Romain Pirot, French fullback. Now Septar getting it inside to Arat. Alex Arat making a bit of ground up towards the Welsh 22. Good combination from the French centres there. Away from Dupont, no, takes it on himself. Still just short the Welsh 22. Sean Gallagher telling them to get on with it. Wales having plenty of defending to do, but that's robbed by David Hughes. His offload was knocked down, though, by a French hand, and it is back with the visitors. Dupont having plenty of possession in these opening moments. Now France looking to work it wide again. Gabriel Gandebe halted in his tracks. France have good continuity. Keep it going. Berlot. This is Mathieu Tanguy taking it up. Dupont tries the little run round, but it's been knocked on, and relief for Wales. They'll have the put in to the scrimmage. So France dominating possession in these opening minutes, but unable to find a way through or round the young Welsh defence.
Yeah, they certainly come with the intent to play, haven't they, by the look of them. Certainly playing with a lot of width, seem to have a lot of pace on the wings, and seem to have a lot of good players, I think, by looking at the points difference at the moment. You know, they're up around 54 and two unbeaten teams here, so I'd expect them, the way they play, to be very open and just trying to, they'd offload game, typical of a French team.
As a handful of them have had experience with the top 14 French clubs. Wales Number 12, Harry Millard, is one of those that you've come across, Kerry?
Yeah, I played with him a couple of times this year. He's a great prospect. No young man finding his way in the game at the moment, and it's great for him to have a bit of exposure at this level. And you know, he's had a couple of games for Pontypridd this year, and he's done really well.
Oh, he's getting lovely passes.
All for me.
Crouch!
Millard was one of the try scorers in Wales's opening 35-24 victory out in Donnybrook, in which Dan Jones scored a try and 20 points. His kicking wasn't as precise in the match against Scotland, but Billy McBride kicked the winning penalty in that one, as Harry Keddy of the Valen Dragons took it up there. Belted clear by McBride. Bureau up towards halfway, but brought down by Millard. Wales trying to ruck over it. It's in the hands of Gelonche. Dupont twisting and turning, but Mr. Gallagher will bring them back for the penalty. Spotted a side entry somewhere there, the Irish referee. A couple of the French three-quarters having some Pro 14 experience. Arrat, top 14 rather, and Rudy have played regularly professionally. Rudy in the top 14 with La Rochelle, and Arrat with Biarritz, who of course have dropped down to the Pro Division 2 these days. Used to seeing them at the top of the European game. And it goes from Malvaca to lose hooker. Good aggressive defence from Wales though. But France getting their momentum going in turn. Brought to ground. Wales have managed to do that legally. Slow ball for Dupont. Wales have had plenty of time to line up the fringe defence. France just trying to muscle their way onwards. Hughes, the hooker, working hard there. Wales looking to hold them up. But France within 10 metres the Welsh line. Closest they've been so far. It's a penalty coming if France don't score a try. Pizanti, one of the changes in this French side, takes it forward from the number 8 position, but no real advantage. And France will have the option of a kick to corner or a shot at goal. So they'll go for posts and the chance to take an early lead off the boot of Bailo.
I think France have come with a driving game to start. Obviously watching the Scottish game from the last time Wales played, they made a lot of inroads there. Scotland, they had a really good driving maul, but I think Wales dealt with that pretty effectively on the first one, so keen to see if they carry on with that. They keep knocking on that door, the French team.
Yeah, Scotland scored 1 or 2 tries in that corner. This to open the scoring from Anthony Bello of Toulon. But across the face, never really threatened from Bello, despite having 24 points to his credit, as I say, in these opening 2 wins for the French. Bride sends the restart long. Not the only son of an international on view today. Billy McBride, son of Robin. As France clear their lines. On the bench for the visitors is Damien Penaud, son of the fly half Alain.
Yeah, great player, him, Alain Penaud. Played for Brive, I think, didn't he? And,
did well in Europe in the 90s.
Interesting to see how Harry McBride goes today. Billy McBride, sorry.
Wales have it through Phillips. And Giles in the line. McBride, oh, the passing in the back line wasn't quite crisp enough. Thought it might have been knocked on by Williams, but not so, says the referee. Ball bouncing around loosely. And it's been knocked on by Verhaag there. And Wales have a little bit of relief. That wasn't quite as crisp as I guess the coaching team would have wanted, Kerry.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy. I think first line out as well, they would have been looking, you know, to really make a dent in our French defence. A couple of wayward passes and a big pressure from the French team. A lot of line speed, trying to put the Welsh attack under pressure.
They're lucky the Toulouse second row. Florian Verhaag, number 4, didn't pick that one up cleanly. He's picked up 3 tries in the 2 matches so far. So no doubt he's a man who likes to get around the park.
Crouch!
Michael Simutoga on this near side. He was on the bench in the Champions Cup for Clermont against the Ospreys a few weeks back, the number 3.
I think this could be a big part of the game today as well. The Welsh scrum was very dominant against Scotland. It was a certain, they went to it. You know, they won a lot of penalties and kind of worked their way up the pitch from this platform. It'll be interesting to see if they can do that against the French team, who are, you know, generally renowned for their scrummaging as well.
Crouch!
Looks as though Pessanti is packing down on the flank for the time being.
Set!
And Gillon Chedate, despite wearing the opposite numbers. As Sean Gallagher will have to have a chat with the front rows.
Smaller gap, give that to me. So you have to get in a little bit closer and head up. Now come right up. Same with you. Come up. Come up. Good.
Not quite sure how much English those French youngsters will speak at their age. Won't have been exposed to the myriad South African, Australian, New Zealand teammates they seem to get at senior level.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good, man. They can usually string a sentence together in English compared to we can't usually string a sentence together in French. So
as Wales have reasonably solid scrum ball, flicked away by Kelly to Morgan Williams to McBride, who's just overcooked that one fractionally, and so he's unlucky with the roll of the ball there, and they'll go back. Just what the forwards don't want. I bet the pack will be giving him the evil eye, Kerry.
oh, we have an evil stare off the props on the second row there. It seems to be he's kicking the ball a long way at the today so far already. So I don't know whether there's a bit of a wind up there. It is renowned for being windy there, but that's gone. You know, he's only just put the toe on that really, and it's gone 50, 60 yards and dead.
McBride, who kicked the winning penalty against Scotland a couple of weeks ago, having coming on as a late replacement for Dan Jones.
It's a big opportunity for him tonight. I think, you know, Dan Jones has played pretty well in the first 2 games. Didn't have his kicking boots on in the last game, but I thought he controlled the game really well. But saying that, you know, he came on and he nerves of steel in the end to kick that winning penalty, and he's been, looks like he's been given a chance to have a go this week.
Crouch!
Yes, they use their discretion on the selection, don't they? If players are going to get some involvement at regional level, they're usually released. As the pickup from Gelange coming blind side. Dupont trying to get away to Bureau, the fullback. Gandebe, the wing, protecting it for Bello infield. Messy French handling. Picked up by Attila Septar. His father played for Romania, apparently. That's the non-French sounding name for the number 13. There's a call from one of Mr. Gallagher's assistants there for an offside, so we're playing advantage to France as Arat looks to take on the Welsh defence, and no chance for George Gasson to show his gas, because they'll come back for a penalty on the other side, this near side.
Hiller's offside again, that's the second penalty. Hiller's offside. They have to be on the hindmost. Yeah, I know. Thank you. There's your mark.
So Wales conceding their 3rd penalty, as you can see from the stat on the screen. Ildia Kick-Cusp. And again, France will go for goal.
think they'd be disappointed with that. It's kind of silly little penalties, you know, just in front of the back foot. You can easily rectify that. It just, you know, it's a pet hate of the coaches of just little silly penalties. Helps France just piggyback up the field, gives them easy field position, and obviously gives them opportunities to kick penalty kicks.
Shane Lewis-Hughes also plays in the back row as well as lock. So 14 minutes gone, and this to open the scoring. That looks a more successful shot, but again the result is not what he wanted. Just stabbed at the ball a bit, and it faded a bit wide from the boot of Anthony Belleau. So it's 0 out of 2 for the fly half, and we still wait the first score of the game. Score from the senior match on your screen: England 21, Ireland 10. At Twickenham earlier this afternoon, as Malvaca takes it up. Italy 20, Scotland 36, the result earlier from Rome. So Italy in a bit of a mess this year, despite running France close in their first game. They'll be in Cardiff, of course, on the final weekend. The under-20s clash between the two countries on this ground as well. So France coming again through Arat, brought down by the Welsh captain Phillips. Ngandebe, tackled by Domachowski. Away from Dupont to Belleau. This is Cancorier, rangy blindside. Belleau, another chance to attack, but stopped by Millard and McBride between them. Here comes Pesanti, bouncing off the first tackle, making headway into the Welsh 22. Nice little snipe from Dupont. Belleau in the action again. Dupont once more. Pesanti is brought down. France putting some width on it. Arat, a huge pass. Ngandebe, has he got room to attack on the outside? I thought that might have been a foot in touch, but no, says the assistant on this near side. France looking to wrestle their way over. I think Dupont wanted that one back rather quickly, but they were within a couple of metres of the Welsh line. Now, will the width unlock the Welsh defence? Looks like an overlap here, but the pass put down by Septo, and really all he had to do was take it and score. Golden opportunity wasted by the French, and Wales have the penalty to clear.
They're very comfortable with the ball, mind, don't they? France, they've gone from 12 phases. They finally got the opportunity to score, unfortunately just forced a mistake right at the end. But I think I'm wondering if they keep playing like this, will this is going to cause Wales a lot of trouble in the latter stages of the game, and a bit the fitness kicks in as well.
Septo it was who knocked on, with the line seemingly at his mercy. Let's have another look at it. Good width on the passing.
Great width on the passing, yeah, and they've kept their width well as well. Just poor pass at the last one, a bit high on him. I think if it'd been anywhere near his chest or out in front of him, he would have scored easily. But they certainly put in Wales under pressure with their width, and you know, they clean out this very quick, and the ball's on the plate for the scrum half.
Still awaiting the first score then, as Lewis-Hughes soars and collects. Morgan Williams waits. Gets that one up in the air. Will the chase be any good from Gasson? Bureau spun away from him initially. And Cancorier with a break down the blind side. He's chopped down on the 22. Very ominous from France at the moment. Arat out to Bureau. Ngandebe brought down by Giles. Back for Belleau, running down a bit of a blind alley on the blind side as Millard was waiting for him, and Wales driving over and hacking it clear. Old school, and somehow clearing their lines. But this pressure really is starting to build, isn't it, on Wales. They're having an awful lot of tackling to do, and that could sap their energy later in the game.
Yeah, I think so, but I think as well they'll be happy with the scramble defence. You know, they've kind of managed it so far quite well. It's been, obviously they've been good for the French on attack, but I think, you know, they still haven't scored, which I think Wales can take their confidence from that. I think that, you know, the Welsh centres as well, I think the last couple of games, you know, they've been really physical in that outside channel of the ruck. You know, you see Harry Miller coming through again, and, you know, spoiling the ball on the floor, kicking the ball through, which are allowed to do.
Not quite sure how Ken Corrier got away down the blind side. Chat from Sean Gallagher to Tom Phillips, the Welsh captain.
Wait. Time on.
Waiting for the French medical team to get off the fields. Ruben Morgan-Williams looks to be struggling slightly with his left leg. And a nice little chip down the middle by Berlo, but Giles read it well. Came across to cover just outside his 22. Phillips tries to crash his way forward, brought down by Castet, rival captains in confrontation. This is Shane Lewis-Hughes. Now Morgan-Williams waiting and blasting it away. He's got real length on that kick, and that really raises the siege as far as the home team is concerned as we come up to the end of this first quarter.
Yeah, that was a great kick. You know, he's got the full 60 metres there. He's got a nice little bounce as well, just inside. He was a stand-up performer in the last game, obviously man of the match. Really came alive in the second half with a couple of breaks to set one try up. Looks like he's struggling a little bit at the moment. I think Wales wouldn't want to lose him this early in the game.
Gato Malvaka. The tap back on the Welsh side, and Lewis-Hughes mops it up. How can they make the most of it? Slow ball though. Morgan-Williams as the crowd yelling for an offside decision against the French fringe defence. Morgan-Williams tries to keep them honest by having a little snipe himself. Lewis-Hughes away to Domachowski, brought down by his opposite number, Castet. Now can Wales get some width on the ball in their first real attack? McBride gets man and ball. And Millard tries to blast his way through. He's had a good opening quarter, has Millard. Domachowski coming again, and then Harry Keddy blasting it up but losing it in contact and put downtown by the French. Back goes Giles. He'll need a bit of support maybe. Tries to run round his man. Three French hounding him though towards the touchline. Now Wales at last gets red shirts back to help him out. The Swansea and Ospreys winger Keelan Giles, try scorer against Scotland on this ground. Morgan-Williams had a couple of French bodies around his ankles, managed to get his pass away. McBride's kick fielded by Bureau. Long pass to continue the adventure for the French to Rudy. That's on halfway. Gasson in with the interception though, snapping up the loose ball. Game beginning to break up a little bit. Can Wales take advantage? Phillips out to Giles. Oh, Giles' inside ball's gone forward. Signs of enterprise from the Welsh youngsters and the crowd appreciating it.
Yeah, first real attack from Wales. They put together a lot of phases, got stripped early on, but I think, you know, they've shown the endeavour there to go wide. The wing looks really sharp. This is going to be a bit of a good battle, I think, the two wings on each other. Just trying to force a little bit. I think they could have been better off just keeping the ball going through the phases there, really trying to stretch this French team.
Keelan Giles' offload back in field to Tom Phillips, just going forward with a tackle from Gabriel Ngandebe.
Right option, I think, there, you know, trying to get that offload in, keeping that ball alive. He was going to be out to touch.
French winger is the only one based in the capital region. Contrast the senior team, which had 6 from Stade Francais and a couple from Racing in their starting 15. Just 1 from the Paris area in the under-20s starting team. Massy, I think, was a club where former Scarlets and Dragons fullback Martin Thomas played a season.
That's very good knowledge, Nick.
Just for such moments. I wonder if the French understand Oggy, Oggy, Oggy. Antoine Dupont of Castres. French champions a couple of years back, but have dropped down the pecking order a bit. Wales putting the pressure on and getting the rewards.
This is a real strong part of their game against Scotland. They seem to have gone on the same again, you know, pushing the French team off of their front row straight up. It's a great little win by Wales there for that penalty. It's a real weapon of theirs at the moment.
Credit then to the Welsh props, Domachowski and Dylan Lewis.
Yeah,
It was Dylan Lewis on the tight head who had the French captain Caste popping up there.
Yeah, 2 Pontypridd products in the front row there, so I think Garen Jenkins will be looking at that and he'll be happy with that.
Any scrum going forward and Garen Jenkins will be happy. Worked with him on the senior international down at the Principality Stadium last night alongside Lee Byrne. Where, of course, Robin McBride would have been pretty satisfied with most of the Welsh efforts, apart from a couple of line-outs going astray. Wasn't quite the record of the first 2 games in terms of the set piece, but scrum for Wales looks pretty solid at senior level, and it looks like a weapon at this under-20 level. Here is Billy McBride then, who nailed his only kick last time out. This to put Wales into the lead after 25 minutes. The crowd like the look of it. Up go the flags, and Billy McBride makes it Wales 3, France 0, 25 minutes played.
Great confidence from him there, you know, it's a tough kick as well. His first kick from the touchline. Probably would have seen, thought they might have got to the touchline for a drive in more, but he's, you know, he stepped straight up and said he'll have a go at that, and he slotted it straight between the middle. It's a great start for him.
Gaethyn, mae'r hanner cyntaf yn atgoffa o ail hanner gêm Cymru neithiwr, a dyna'r graff dy hun ar sy'n hyfforddi fyny fan hyn.
O, yn bendant, mae'r 20 munud cyntaf yn bendant wedi bod yn diffyg meddiant a diffyg tiriogaeth, really, ond mae'r 5 munud, 6 munud diwethaf wedi bod yn eitha calanogol, a fi'n credu mae'r gic-os yn eitha calanogol hefyd. Y ffaith wedi bod yn 3 ddim yw e, mae'r fforddwyr yn eitha hapus, eitha ples ar hyn o bryd, bod ni ddim wedi ildio o dan pwysau, cryn dipyn o bwysau.
Ie, pa mor dda oedd yr amddiffyn na'n yr 20 munud cyntaf?
Wel, fel o ti'n sôn amdano'r amddiffyn neithiwr, oedd e'n arwrol neithiwr, a i fod yn dig i beidio ildio o dan cryn dipyn o bwysau, cryn dipyn o ddwyster. Mae nhw'n heiddi cryn dipyn o glod hefyd, ond mae'n bwysig bod ni ddim yn taclo drwy gydol yr hanner, a mae'r 3 pwynt yna wedi bod yn... mae'n mynd i roi cryn dipyn o hyder i'r boes.
A Billy McBride fel pethefnos yn ôl yn trosi. Faint o bwysau sydd ar ei ysgwyd o i gêm gyntaf'n dechrau i flwyddyn cyntaf yn y tîm dan 20. Os o bwysau ar ei ysgwyd o ni'n gallu chwarae bach o rhyddid hyn yma?
Na, pob clod i'r fforddwyr, maen nhw'n sôn amdano, maen nhw'n moyn i'r crits i ni ymlygu hunain, a maen nhw'n moyn bod nhw'n cael yr hyder mwyn expresio hunain mewn, gyda'i gallu yna. Mae cryn dipyn o gallu gyda Billy McBride, mae Jared Evans, mae Daniel Jones gyda ni yn y garfan hyn. Mae'n gret bod Billy'n cael y cyfle heno, a mae wedi cael dechreuad eitha cadar.
Ie, gobeithio bydd y dechreuad yn parhau. Geth, diolch yn fawr am dy gwmni di am ynna'r gem. Diolch.
The views of Gethin Watts there, the under-20s performance manager. So the coaches were happy that they hadn't conceded under pressure in the early stages, referred to the defence being, as it was for the senior team, heroic, he said, and also mentioned the fly halves being encouraged to express themselves, and the 3 fly halves in this squad. Dan Jones, Jared Evans, who are on regional duty, and Billy McBride as well.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, though. You know, I think they have defended heroically, and it'll be interesting to see how, you know, they cope with a lot of pressure. It'll be interesting to see how France cope with a bit of pressure the Wales are putting on them, whether they can react to the same.
Crouch.
Lots of scrums, that's what Wales need. I'm sounding like Garen Jenkins here.
Set.
Bit of vocal encouragement from the crowd will do no harm either. Again, Wales getting the benefit of the referee's decision. Number 1, Caste, the captain, under pressure again from Dylan Lewis, who has had a few outings for the Cardiff Blues senior regional team.
Yeah, he showed it well for them as well. I think he's certainly one for the future. Certainly potential Welsh prop if we can get him up to that level. But you know, they win in penalties in these scrums. They can take the game away from France if they're in kickable opportunities. Billy McBride seems to have his kicking boots on from the start, so hopefully, you know, he can put another one over.
Props seem to be coming through younger than they used to. With a couple in Rob Evans and Samson Lee, both around the 23 mark. Used to be gnarled old veterans, 30 plus, didn't it, occupying the 1 and 3 jerseys.
It usually takes them a while to get that experience, and they usually have a couple of hide-ins of older players to learn, get their stripes, so to speak. But boys coming from now, big boys.
Billy McBride then, fly half, son of a hooker. Put over his first kick some 5 minutes ago. This one is just a little bit further out. But he struck it nicely, and Billy McBride finds the target for the second time. And Wales lead by 6 points to 0 as we come up to the half-hour mark.
They can be really happy with the first 30 minutes. You know, we said they've suffered a lot of pressure from the French team who've thrown everything at them, so to speak.
See what the French have left as Reen Williams gets underneath the restart. He's a student at Bangor University. He's been signed by Cardiff Blues on a development contract, I understand. The fullback Reen Williams.
Yeah, he looks an exciting player. I think from watching him last week, he was, you know, certainly an attacking-minded fullback, and he was good under the high ball and took a few high balls as well. He seems to be able to kick the ball well, so I think, you know, he's a good prospect for the Blues and a good signing.
Mauvaka is from the island of Wallis and Futuna that last night produced its first ever international in the shape of Vincent Pello, the prop forward. The hooker Mauvaka came over here to Europe at the age of 15 and is with Toulouse. So he's back on possession, wrestling away there and laying it back for Dupont. Bello flicking it out, but it's been put down by Septar. Well mopped up. It's Wales tackling strongly, and Millard just slamming Bureau into touch there.
Yeah, very physical again, the two centres. Really looking after the French opposition. Just
yeah, the French centres with the headgear on, Arat and Septar, they've made a bit of ground going forward, but they've also been a few handling errors from them as well.
Yeah, they seem to be getting to the last bit and just falling a bit.
Didn't quite come off for Wales, that one. Cheeky one down the front. Let's have another look.
Certainly opportunity there.
Oh, that was one off the training ground, wasn't it?
That is a training paddock line-up move.
Didn't quite work, so it's back in the hands of Mauvaka.
You're still in good areas, my Wales, at the moment. You know, they're putting pressure on France. France will just want to get out to this area.
Backwards.
Finding Verhaag. And Dupont with a high kick. Oh, Giles gets a big hit from Ngandebe. Crowd murmuring and concern. So both are all right after that big collision. Morgan Williams away to McBride. Pursuit from Gasson is good again on Bureau, and support from Joe Thomas as well. The Abravan Ospreys, number 13. Held up, referee blowing very quickly there.
Yeah, you could hear him shout maul though straight away. I think the Welsh centres held him up, showing really good physical presence, the two centres. Good option by Billy McBride as well. He was really slow ball, just put it up onto the winger, put him under pressure.
I think we're going to look again at that collision between Ngandebe and Giles.
I think there's anything wrong with that, do you?
There was a bit of left arm in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, but he's gone.
Okay, Simon, I've seen that. What I've seen is blue number 14. He's tackled the player high and with no arms.
Oof. It's a touch high. I wouldn't say there's no arm in there.
He's kind of on. I find the replay makes it worse.
Yes, that's correct.
Because it's slow. It's not in real time. I should watch it in real time. You know, he's committed there. He's actually dipping into it, I would say. He's not standing tall.
I'm off 14.
Harsh if this is a yellow card. Penalty, I think.
The tackle you made was high and no arms. It's a yellow card.
It is a yellow card for Gabriel Ngandebe. That's, as Kerry's saying, slow motion replays make almost every tackle in the game look illegal in some ways.
Every time.
So he'll be off for the remainder of the first half and the opening couple of minutes of the second. And there may be just a little gap down that French wing that Wales can look to exploit, though. McBride getting plenty of length on that one.
Yeah, he's kicked really well. It's half. I don't know whether he's got a bit of wind behind him, but he seems to have a lot of length as well. He's very accurate. You know, he's been kicking about 60, 70 metres at some stages. He's kicked really well for goal.
Those two strikes from McBride making the difference between the two sides. Two misses by Bello. And France missing a clear-cut scoring opportunity early on as well, if you have just joined us. Wales then unable to get the ball moving at the first attempt. So Keddy drives forward. Powerful unit, Harry Keddy. Albeit 6'2" and 17 stone is fairly routine, I suppose, for back rowers these days. Poised again for another go, but Phillips took it on with support now from Lewis Hughes. McBride tries the dink down the middle, but catch made by Arat, and adventure from him. Oh, tap and go. Dupont juggled, but makes it as far as his own 22. He's just about lost the momentum out of the French attack, and Wales looking to hold up the scrum half, but it's ripped away for France to continue attacking from defence. Pesanti to Movaka. Plenty of good intent from the French youngsters, and then it's booted high by Dupont. Good catch from Queen Williams, brought down by Rudy. Morgan Williams. Sean Evans taking it forward. Scarlett's open side. He's a student at Cardiff University. McBride is chopped down by the French. Number 7, Gelange, but kept going by Keddy. Lewis Hughes flicks it away. Good continuity from Wales. David Hughes, the hooker. Morgan Williams infields. Keddy. Adam Beard was released for Ospreys duties last time out, but back in the under-20s setup. Well, the Ospreys have enough bodies to fill their ranks this weekend in Galway. Morgan Williams puts it high. Might have overhit that one, I fear. And it's very easy indeed for the Pau fullback. Played in the Challenge Cup this year, Romain Bureau.
Probably wasn't exactly what he was looking for, but still not a bad option. You know, they're going to be kicking into touch, so Wales will get the ball back. It's still a lot of pressure on the French team in good areas.
Ar y bryd, chydig o funudau fynd nesa hanner. Hapus efo'r sy'n gêm yn mynd hyd yma?
Ie, dechreuodd y Ffrainc yn gryf iawn. Mae'n 20 munud cyntaf can o'r tir i gyd, y pel i gyd. A'n eitha ffodus i bod dim, ond ni wedi cael tymach o tir nawr y pel a ni wedi dod nôl mewn i'r gêm.
Cytuno fo'r penderfyniad Cardyn Felyn a'r tacl uchel ar Keelan Giles.
Ie, fi'n credu tîm bach yn beryglus. Fi'n siŵr bydde Ffrainc oedd yn well yn gwael tîm bach yn wahanol, ond rhaid i wneud y mwyaf amdano fe nawr a gobeithio cael agor y pwyntiau.
Ie, pa mor bwysig ydy rwan i gwneud mantais bod y Ffrancwyr lawr 14-1?
Ie, fi'n credu mae'n bwysig iawn, dys bod hanner amser, os i'n cael cwpl o bwyntiau eraill, wneud nhw chas o'r gêm, a y Ffrainc oedd yn traddodiadol allai ambell waith ddim yn wario mor dda pan maen mynd ar ôl y gêm a gobeithio wneud i wneud hynny.
Geraint, diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch.
Voice of Geraint Lewis there, the forwards coach. Asked about the tackle, said it was a bit dangerous, but he was sure that the French would see things a bit differently, and that Wales, of course, would look to take advantage of France being down to 14 men for the next few minutes. But sounding reasonably satisfied with the game so far, as well he might be your Pontypridd mucker.
Yeah, I think he will be, you know. I think, like we said earlier, I think France have thrown a lot of attack at Wales and they've kind of coped with it. Yes, they've been under pressure, but they've managed it well and they come out the other end. You know, they're 6-0 up at the moment, and the French team look a bit more worried under the pressure when Wales have got the ball.
This is a French side that has scored 74 points in 2 matches as well. It's important to remember that, as Cancorier gets it to Mo Vaca. He's brought down by David Hughes. France looking to get on the board before half-time, despite being a man down. They're still putting a bit of enterprise in their game, a bit of tempo. Scrum half looking for a penalty there, I think, but not giving a sympathetic ear from Sean Gallagher. And this time France have lost the ball forward. Token hostilities.
Yeah, I like that. With you know, you can get into the French team's head sometimes. They do get a bit frustrated, and they are a totally different animal sometimes when you play against them. If they're playing with their tails up, sometimes they're unplayable. But you can stir them up. And
there we are. Meters gained. Wales 59, France 264, and Wales are winning.
Yeah. That was probably the opening couple of plays, I think, when they kept the ball for so long, wasn't it?
30 seconds, Simon, is it?
France has still had their opportunities. They missed 2 kicks as well, so.
Wales having to make more tackles, 60-35. Kerry and I will be back for second half English language commentary on the red button as Wales look to preserve this advantage and make it the home side that has a 100% record as we move into the closing moments of this first half.
Too close. Keep the gap. Just stay straight and take your head out on the outside. One this time.
Adam Beard in the black scrum cap. Coming through in the footsteps of Rory Thornton.
Crouch!
Wales under-20s previous captain.
Bind!
It's now a regular feature in the Ospreys side, at least for the Pro 12. Morgan Williams into the scrum. Not much hooking going on, but there rarely is these days. Popped into touch by Reuben Morgan Williams, and ending a very satisfactory first half for the Welsh youngsters. who have their noses in front thanks to the boots of that man, Billy McBride. Just the 2 penalties then. 6-0 to Wales at half-time.
Croeso nôl I Bargeirias, Cymru dan 26, Ffrainc dan 20 Yr unig ddau dîm yn y gystadleuaeth y tymor hwn sydd heb golli eto. We have English language commentary on the red button with Nick Webb and Kerry Sweeney. Ond nôl â ni yn y Gymraeg at yn tîm sylwebu ni Alan Lewis a Kenneth Davies.
Gareth, diolch yn fawr I chi.
Yes, welcome back for the second half. Will it be Wales or France who preserve their 100% record? As Billy McBride, scorer of the only 6 points so far, gets us underway in the second half. We'll see if France will benefit from the conditions. Doesn't seem to be too much wind advantage behind that first strike from Berlot. The French still have their winger Ngandebe in the sin bin for the next 2 or 3 minutes as David Hughes polishes the ball. We've got a Hughes, a Lewis and a Lewis Hughes in the front 5 for Wales. This is Millard hitting it up. Adam Beard tries to get the drive going on him, but loses his footing. Keddy taking it over the 22. He's been industrious, and Lewis Hughes is the next carrier. Well, starting purposefully. Beard is upended. Just about manages to place the ball the right way. Hard work from the Welsh forwards. Sean Evans. But Beard there going off his feet. Well, it may have been Evans who was penalised for hanging on, in fact.
He just got himself a little bit isolated there, didn't he, on his own. Give the French number 2 an opportunity to get in over the ball.
Chance for Berlot to clear. Finding touch. 5 metres then inside the Welsh half of the field. No alterations of the teams visible so far. Welsh side just going through on the bottom of your screen there. Taken by Pezonti at the tail. Septar smashing it up. French taking a more direct route. Really trying to get some width on their attacks in the first half. Back in field from Berlot. Simutoga. Tanguy from La Rochelle. Now Caste going on a little blunder, the captain in midfield. Crowd claiming a little bit of crossing there. French going through the phases. Cancorier brought down.
Advantage.
Knock on by France. No real space for Wales to counter-attack. The referee didn't blow straight away there. Let's see if he's proved right. McBride. How much length on that one? Not a huge amount. I'm not sure if Wales got any real advantage from that French knock-on, as back comes Gabriel Ngandebe. Malvaka. Well won by Verheeg. And that's a useful drive from the young Blues. Tanguy with the beard slipping it away. The scrum half, Dupont. Wales backpedaling, France looking dangerous. Pick and drive from Pezonti from 8. And then Malvaka managed almost to find a way through congested traffic. This again is ominous from the French forwards. Tanguy using his strength. Wales now defending on their goal line. Can France get it wide? Septa slips it to Alex Arat, and the Biarritz centre gets the first try of the game. 45th minute, it's Wales 6, France 5.
They had threatened to do that in the first half, hadn't they? And you know, they finally got a string of passes together without making a mistake, and it was an easy walkover in the end. He just created the overlap and just picked the numbers off.
3 queuing up on the outside to score.
Yeah, good play by France. You know, did the hard yards early on, picked it around the corner, made a big dent in the Welsh defence. Just waited till they had that overlap and just spread the ball wide.
So the French forwards drawing in the Welsh defence. In the end, a 3-man overlap.
The Rats has looked quite sharp tonight for the French team. The two centres look sharp actually, with the Wales centres have been a bit more physical than the French counterparts, but certainly seem to have a bit of flair about them.
That's where the French flair has gone. Bit of a talking point this week where Warren Gatland said it wasn't that France were lacking quality players, there's just no space on the field these days because of modern defensive organisation. Conversion attempt from Berlot to try to put France into the lead then. With their first score of the game, he's slotted that one over, and France have their noses in front. 5 minutes into the second half. Wales 6, France 7. Latest score for you there, Connacht 24-15 in the lead against the Ospreys, and kicked off at a similar time to this game. Rhys Webb starting that one for the Ospreys. His first start for the region this season after that terrible injury in the World Cup warm-up, and then a concussion on his comeback a couple of weeks ago, again out in Ireland.
Nice place to go for his comeback.
On the line, Blue.
Yes.
Tough old ground that.
Be on after the Dogs tonight instead of before them. Dog track that runs around the sports ground in Galway as Beard wins that line out. McBride hoofs it high. It chases from Reem Williams, and that's a brilliant take, but he couldn't get the offload to Gasson up in support.
Tried the spectacular offload then. A great chase by, great kick by Billy as well there, right on the money. Reem Williams is up there, he's taking the ball in front of his French number.
Oh, he's just overcooked that a bit, Williams, hasn't he? He's done the spectacular bit. Could have just waited a fraction and popped it to the nearest supporting player rather than looking for the miracle ball to Gasson. But you have to applaud his enterprise, really. Verheeg with the line-out catch. France looking to maul their way out of defence and get the penalty against Shane Lewis-Hughes.
Still seem to be making inroads in that driving maul, don't they? Same problem they had against Scotland, they can't get to stopping it straight away.
France have gained half the length of the field or more as a result, with that little bit of wind advantage as well at their backs, and this is going to take the same sort of comeback that Wales managed against Scotland, with France already ahead and with half an hour to play with wind advantage. Sure, the forwards on the French side didn't appear to be expecting that, and Dylan Lewis reacted quickest. Ruben Morgan Williams getting it away. David Hughes laid it back. McBride with the kick through. Bureau managed just about to control it, but the follow-up was good from Giles, and Wales have got turnover possession. Taken up by Millard. Taken on by Keddy, who fancies his chances. He's made a bit of ground on more than one occasion, taking route one. Lewis Hughes away to Evans. McBride. Tap but not held, says referee Gallagher. Can Wales keep this one going? Williams to Phillips. This is a good positive attack from Wales. Lewis Hughes driving as Wales go through the phases there. 5 phases. Back in field for Keddy. French defence expecting him on this occasion.
Just need to keep their patience now.
Sean Evans getting a little bit isolated as Verhaeghe disputes it. That looked like an offside. No, he's just playing the knock-on advantage from McBride's handling error. French were throwing him remarkably quickly. It's belted downfield by Dupont. Back goes Keelan Giles, and with no support, he decides the kicking option is the right one. But France play on. Bureau taking the infield ball. As Dupont waits. Simutoga. This time the prop managed to get the back line moving. Can Courrier, might have been through there if he'd taken that one.
Away blue!
But Wales with the chance maybe to counter. The French defence in turn had time to get organised. Up from Morgan Williams. Welsh chasing has been good generally. Millard managed to knock it into Gasson's hands. Referee says that one's gone forward. The crowd does not entirely agree.
I don't know.
Wales going to have to change their tactics, vary things up a little bit.
I think they were looking good just 2 minutes ago. I just think they need to keep the ball, keep going, keep working the French defence. I think the opportunities will come. As we've seen, it's just I think they're going through a good load of phases, and then that final pass or that final couple of phases that they need, they just turning the ball over.
There we are, handling mistakes, 9 on either side. There's Sean Gallagher trying to get the props straight. George Gasson, the Bedwars Dragons winger, making his debut at this level. In it goes
Behind the ball, please.
Dupont. Morgan Williams trying to put pressure on his opposite number and succeeding. That's a good little run round from Dupont. The inside ball went down, picked up by McBride. Gets it to Giles.
He's fine.
But that one's been stripped by Dupont, the little scrum half managing to stay on the right side of the referee, and France looking dangerous on the counter. Gasson flies in with the tackle. Now away from Gelange. Rudy, the winger. Dupont has it back. Malvaka to Verhaeghe. He's lost it in contact. Now there could be something on for Wales if they can get it wide quickly. Phillips with the offload. Millard out to Giles now. What's the winger got? Couldn't quite get clear of the cover defence, Keelan Giles. Try score against Scotland last time out, and the crowd reacting when he gets the ball. But it's back in the hands of that hefty visitors pack. And again, they go through the middle, through Malvaka. France looking dangerous. Gelange out to Rudy, causing Gasson trouble, but Joe Thomas across to help out, and again, turnover time for Wales. Lewis Hughes flicks it out. Domachowski, Phillips, brought down by Pissanti. Domachowski flicks it back for Beard to take it up. Dylan Lewis wide. Wales having the advantage there on turnovers by 9-4. Morgan Williams waits. They've worked their way patiently about 30 metres downfield in this series of phases. Now can they free it for a run from Gasson? Good inside ball. David Hughes up in support, as is Joe Thomas. Almost up to 22, Ruben Morgan Williams. I thought the touch flag might go up there, but France have got their hands on the ball anyway. And Anthony Bello can calm things down. That was almost in slow motion for Clément Castet, the captain from Montpellier. France taking their time about the reset. Just 1 point separating the sides then after Arat's try converted by Bello. Green Williams underneath it. Now McBride slinging it long. Giles has got Millard outside him this time. Back in field to Giles. Oh, that's tremendous work from the two, but no support inside, and the French cover defence just getting across.
It's good play by Wales, though. You know, they're moving the ball on a kick receipt, moving it to the opposite side of the pitch. Got plenty of gas out there. So great advantage.
Well, those two have certainly looked threatening runners, haven't they, all evening?
Yeah, certainly have. I think Hattie Millard on the winger there, you know, really good pace, really attacks him, goes on his outside, tries to stretch him. The French backline got a lot of pace as well.
And Keelan Giles, the Welsh number 11, he's only just turned 18 this year, so he's, if my maths are right, should have another couple of years left in this side.
Yeah, he looks good. You know, he showed up really well in the last couple of games. Scored his couple of tries. He's been really busy. Got some good footwork as well, and he seems to kick the ball well.
Mathieu Tanguy, the French number 5, we saw going off. I think the skipper's off as well. Elise El Ansari is the front row replacement for Simutoga. And it's Theo Anoye in the second row for Tanguy. But Anoye was in the Castres squad that played the Dragons in the Challenge Cup this season. Dragons have at least the quarter-final of that to look forward to in April against Gloucester. Gandebe with a kick and chase. Reen Williams. Bravery. Now, was that an illegal challenge? Because he's already been in the bin.
I don't think he's sending off that. Dangerous though. A football challenge rather than a rugby challenge.
Just captain, just bring your players back. Bring your players back. I'll tell you what I've seen. As the ball was kicked through, blue.
Oh dear, that's a second yellow, surely.
Might be. Probably shouldn't have had a yellow card for this first one. No? Slow-mo could be his downfall again here.
Full speed replay won't look as bad, I'm sure.
I've seen blue, 14, deliberately put his foot out and trip a red player. Is that what you have?
Correct.
For me, that's a yellow card.
It's 2 yellows.
Correct. Okay, thank you. Where are we restarting play with the penalty?
It's the same player who was in the bin in the first half.
Yes, absolutely. Timeout 14. 14.
And that is the end of the game for Gabriel Ngandebe. Unfortunately for him.
And trip the player, it's a yellow card.
Terrible moment for the youngster.
Yeah, it was a sad moment for him there. It's obviously really disappointed with that too. I don't think there's been any malice in the two of his decisions really, but
have to feel desperately sorry for him, because the first challenge in the first half was probably clumsy rather than anything, and that was, well, it had to be yellow, but it was instinctive rather than malicious.
Yeah, I think so.
there.
Like, you know, that's the thing. I think these replays are not great. They should be spoiling the game while they add into it.
Wales with the chance to benefit then. David Hughes charging down the touchline. Lewis Hughes. Morgan Williams sweeping it away. McBride to Millard, trying to find space down the centre. Offloads well to Joe Thomas. Wales into French 22. Can they find the gap on the wing now? Morgan Williams will have to find a bit of support. And McBride comes into play scrum half. Good angle from Dylan Lewis.
Advantage.
Penalty in front of the post and a chance for Wales to retake the lead. Number 3 offside was the call.
Lovely break by Harry Millard there. Good offload as well, some good continuity by Wales, some hitting some great angles. Thought the try was coming.
Take the points. Green Williams involved.
I'd like to see him with a bit more ball, I think. You know, he seems really dangerous when he's got the ball. He's very positive. Seems to have a bit of pace, and you know, has a bit of flair about him as well. And he hasn't really touched the ball a lot in open play. But what we've seen from him has been pretty good.
Billy McBride slots it over, and 18 minutes into the second half, Wales are back into lead against 14-man France. As on come the replacements. The 2 young props, Rhys Fawcett of the Scarlets, Pembroke product, and Leon Brown from the Dragons.
Ydy, mae'r mab yn neud y dda. Robin McBride yn gyffredinol i ddechrau. Byddwch argraff chi o'r gêm yma. Ac oedd hwnna'n gardyn felyn i arwain as gardyn goch?
O, mae'n siŵr, edrych arni hi, mi oedd hi'n ond, o'n i teimlo'n bach yn anlwcus, ond na gyd mynd wneud, just reactio bych chi'n sydyn iawn heb feddwl, felly, na, dwi'n meddwl hynny, dipyn o'n ffodus, ond fel gêm yn gyffredinol, does na'n byd yn un, ac oes mae'n gêm ynod o dyn, a mae'n mynd i ddod lawr i rhywbeth bach, felly dwi'n gweld i, felly gobeithio all Cymru manteisio ar y ffaith bod nhw lawr i 1-1, ond maen nhw'n hynod y bygythiol, da ni'n gweld yma tir agored, felly maen nhw'n redwyr cryf o'r bel, a mae'r sgarmes symudol yn achosi cyn dipyn o draffaeth hefyd, so dim drosodd eto.
Ia, dim drosodd i cadw llygad barcud ar y gêm yn hyn. Rhaid i holi amdan y mab Billy. Byddwch chi'n neud y berfformiad o heno yma, ac yr holl lyniau oedd yn mynd o gwmpas y gwyddonau cymdeithasol o'r ddau yn chi ar y cae wythnos, dwi'n neud pethefnos nôl erbyn hyn.
Diolch yn apus bod sawl un wedi cyfeirio siap i drwy, no? Yn edrych fyny fi. Ond na, mae wedi cicio cymryd bol cyfle, felly falle wedi cicio gormod yn 20 yn y hanner cyntaf, ond wedi deud hynna, dwi'n meddwl mae'r bechgyn Cymru, mae'r tîm i gyd wedi magu hyder o ran trafod o bel a chwarae efo'r bel a cadw meddiant dipyn bach mwy enwedig pan nhw lawr yn hanner Ffrainc o'r cae. Felly, da ni wedi gweld yn eitha diweddar yn fyna, bod nhw'n trafod y bel, cael y bel allan o dacl ac yn y blaen. Felly, os gallwn ni gadw ymlaen wneud hynna a symud y bel, da ni'n mynd i achosi trafferthio ni i amddiffyn Ffrainc, ond mwch chi cael ennill y tir a chwarae lawr fyna, a dwi'n siŵr na ni fod yn fyddigol unwaith eto.
Robin, diolch yn fawr iawn, a gobeithio fan am pic yn y glist, efo enw Billy cael ei sgrichen efo'r teulu wrth ochr chi fan hyn. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch yn fawr.
This a chance then for France to retake the lead on the hour mark as Bello chips over his kick, and France get back in front by 10 points to 9 with everything to play for. As Robin McBride said, there wasn't much between the two sides. I thought the French winger Gandebe was a little bit unlucky. Just reacted instinctively, really, for that second incident. And Robin McBride also said that his son had taken his chances with the boot. Billy, but added that he'd kicked a bit too much, or the team had anyway, in the first half. So those are the thoughts of Wales forwards coach Robin McBride, but penalty given away by Brown, I believe.
Stop.
Has allowed Bello to put the French back in front, and there's still a job to be done for the Welsh youngsters in this final quarter. Kerry Sweeney, how do they go about finding the areas where France are missing that man?
I think by that start there, you know, I think Billy McBride's lovely kick into the corner, just keeping the French team under pressure. I think in the right areas. You know, they're in good areas. I'm quite taking their opportunities when they got them, but just keep spending time and putting the pressure on them.
So this one on a knife edge.
Roll away now, Blue, leave it.
France in the lead, but a man short. They might just have the pack power to overcome that shortage, but the kick is half charged down, playing French forwards onside, and therefore they're able to hang on to possession.
Leave him. Stop, Blue.
Bello taking advantage of the wind. Giles flicking it straight in field to Reen Williams. Gives it back to Giles. Easily goes round Verheeg. Gets support from Leon Brown, the replacement prop. David Hughes finds the French defence rushing up at him. Morgan Williams to McBride, who pops it back into the corner. Which way will this roll? It's just the right side of the corner flag, as McBride chips it through to keep the French pinned back in their own 22.
It's a great bit of play by him there. You know, he spotted it coming back on the kick. You can see the wingers up. There's a lot of space in that behind the winger, and he's put that absolutely inch perfect. He's put that probably 12 inches from the corner flag. It's good players, a good outside half play there. You know, he's controlling the territory. Wales should get the ball back off this at some stage, whether it's a line out or a turnover at the line out. France under a lot of pressure, 5 metres from their line.
At least when they're suffering from cramp by the look of it.
Yeah, maybe the man extra the Wales have might pay dividend towards the last 10 minutes. We've still got 18 minutes to go, so still a big part of the game to play without your full complement.
Wales dominating territory there, 61-39. France with the edge in terms of possession, as Wales look to keep this 100% record going. Morgan Tsianowski is on in the Welsh back row, wearing 20.
Quite clinical, France only. I think they've had 2 visits into the Welsh half, the second half, and they come away with points every time.
Guys, just wait 1 second. We're not ready. The captain is still there. Will you take a big step back that way, thanks? No, keep going.
Tom Phillips getting patched up there, so he can still see. All that bandaging.
Nice bit of red tape for Wales as well.
Patriotic. Let's hope that doesn't come down over his eyes.
Time on.
France taking the option of throwing over the top to Judical Cancorier. Back to Bello.
Stop.
Might just have found a little gap then. Reen Williams has to track back. Now can he get support on halfway? Wales need to get bodies there pretty quickly, and they do. The wingers providing a bit of rucking. Reece Fawcett gets his first touch going forward. Playing his first game of the championship is Fawcett. But Wales caught on the back foot in midfield and just about getting away with it. No, the charge down gives France a chance. That one's been overhit surely, and the ball rolling over the dead ball line as Voisin played kick and chase there. But Wales living on the edge there for a moment.
They'll go away with that, I think. They'll try to kick it a bit too close to the line. Just a bit heavy-footed, I think, though. They would have won the foot race there as well, the two French guys. French defence there, mind, putting a lot of pressure into the Welsh back line, coming up with good line speed.
Yes, thank you, one.
Kind of eating up about 40 metres of territory.
Time on.
Dominic Setagno is on for France, but it's his front row colleague Pietro Malvaca who loses the ball in contact. Strong run from the young hooker.
He's carried well tonight for France, hasn't he? He's certainly a powerful young man at the moment. He's been the heart of their forward ball, but Welsh boys certainly dealing with him there. Double tackle, dislodging the ball out of his grip.
Yeah, quite a journey when you grow up on a little island in the Pacific with a population of around about 12,000, and you end up playing professional rugby on the other side of the world.
They might all be as big as him, man, so there might be a few more on their way.
Wait.
Certainly a big lad.
You two, get into your slot. No head on
Yes,
head.
France have
Straight into the slot.
a couple of French clubs have caused a bit of debate by setting up academies in Fiji, so they can spot promising youngsters and bring them over at a young age. Slightly different in this case, albeit Malvaca comes from Wallace, which is a French overseas territory.
Set!
So he wouldn't have a native country to play for. Penalty Wales. That's what they need. A few scrum penalties. That's what helped rescue them against Scotland.
Not straight and down.
So McBride aiming up towards the 22, finding touch just short.
Yes, I think so. The line for you.
Interesting to see here whether they drive the line out or they play off the top and try and just switch the focus of play.
At some point they've got to find the gap where the French winger isn't. Off the red card to Gandebe, but they have to get the ball first. And it's snapped up by Gélange, and he's upended.
Lifted him. Penalty.
Just the
Must
penalty
bring him to ground
given
safely.
by Sean Gallagher.
Thank you.
Leon Brown with the hand of acknowledgement. And Bello putting it over the touchline, and France will be happy to see the ball disappearing into the crowd frequently in these remaining 12-13 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they try and close out this game. Will they just keep kicking the ball and hopefully just stay in the Wales half, and interesting to see how Wales will try and win this game from 13 minutes out.
Stay.
Concordier wins the line out for France. It's the first time they've been tested in this championship after their victories over Italy by 40 points to 13 and a big margin against Ireland as well. Last year they finished second in the championship on points difference. Wales were fourth, albeit with the same number of wins. And here's a chance for Rudy, maybe to settle it. Brought down but not held by Gaston as he tried to step back inside. Chances still on for France. Centre field. Can they find a gap? Setiano, replacement prop, takes it up. Now Hanoye in front of the Welsh posts. 14-man France.
Ball was out.
Certainly showing some enterprise, but Wales grappling for possession.
Wonder if they'll go down the same route again of keeping it tight until they get the overlap.
Ball was out.
They've nicked it.
Fawcett
Off your feet,
spotted the loose ball spilling out the sides and reacted most quickly. McBride is under pressure. That was Joe Thomas getting things going. Out to Millard, to Giles, Keelan Giles. Can he get inside the fullback? Just about held up. Ball goes loose, didn't go forward.
Away, Blue!
Harry Kelly is next up in support. Morgan Williams. Have Wales got numbers wide? Joe Thomas handing it on to Leon Brown. Chance still on. George Gasson. Gasson is over and Wales are back in the lead with 10 minutes left.
What a try that is. They've gone 80 metres from underneath their own sticks virtually. Billy McBride starts and then he looks like he's under pressure on his kick. He's gone back on the left-hand side. Spotted a bit of space. Some great interplay with the Welsh backs. Some great pace as well. Keelan Giles really showing up again there.
Joe Thomas, I think it was, who was forced to switch direction initially. Tremendous running from Giles.
Oh, he's outstanding. You can see him, he steps in, keeps the ball alive. Great offload. Unfortunately goes to floor, but they still keep the ball alive. They're just playing where the space is now. Just easy hands. French defender comes out to the line. Thought they'd done it then. Watches for a pass from front row of mine, just into space. That's a great try. That's virtually 80 metres end to end.
What a moment for Gasson on his under-20 debut.
Great pass by Leon Brown. He kind of passed into space where Gasson wasn't quite there, but he kind of knew he was going to be there, I think, and he just gave it a little bit of air, a little floaty pass, and he was there.
14-10, this to provide a little bit of extra breathing space. McBride slots it over, 16-10. Can Wales make it 3 out of 3? They're heading in the right direction. They still have a bit to do.
As you can see here, the French comes out to the line, offload Leon Brown. Just gives a nice little weighted pass. Be really happy with that.
France, though, back in possession from the restart. I'm sure they'll throw the kitchen sink at it. Wales, though, with the penalty, and the crowd really getting into it now.
Coming up to 8 minutes just to manage this game now. They kind of 6 points in front. Obviously, they don't want to be giving the French team any territory.
Two young Dragons providing the finishing touches to that team try. I'm sure your old half-back partner Richie Rees of the academy at the Dragons will be purring over that one.
Yeah, he has mentioned about Leon Brown, saying that he's a good prospect and certainly one to watch for the future. Maybe, you know, making it up to the full Welsh team. He's a big lad. He's looked good this year in Principality as well.
If you're nearly 20 stone at the age of 19, there's certainly some raw material to work with.
Yeah, he certainly, you know, as the more training he does, and you know, the more he gets into the professional rugby, he will be. You know, he's obviously going to get a little bit bigger and stronger.
As Giles snaps up the loose ball, there could be something on for Wales here. Phillips combining with Janowski. Janowski back inside. No, can't quite get the pass in. But Wales looking to seal this match with a second try.
Great to see Wales all late on in the game, really pushing, and kind of their fitness looks like it's coming through.
Fforddwyr fan hyn ar hyn o bryd, ond y cais nawr rwan, wedi ennill y gem I chi?
Wel, fi'n gwybod yna, mae'n tîm da gyda Ffrainc, maen nhw'n gryf a pwerus, a maen nhw dal yn bryglis os nhw'n cael y bel lawr yn tir ni, ond cais gwych a gobeithio chi'n gallu cael unrhyw pwynt arall i cael cyn bach mwy.
Ia, soniwch bach am y cais oherwydd oedd yn ymdrech amddiffynol arbennig I ddechrau cyn mynd hyd y cae.
Ie, gwych chymod yn 22 hunan, troi'r bel draw, chymod, dynyddio'r bel pasio, chymod, gyda'r blaenwyr a'r orwyr, a chymod, gweithio'n newid y momentum y gêm I ni.
Gair bach am y prop Leon Brown, oedd efo'r pas allan i'r asgell, mae'n glamp hogi mowr ac mynd hyd y cae I ddal I fyny efo'r chwarae fyd.
Ie, chymod, mae'n athletwr da iawn, chymod, mae'n trafod y bel yn bert hefyd, a chymod, fel chi eisiau blaenwyr y dyddiau hyn, chymod, mae'n lli redeg a hefyd, mae'n lli trafod y bel, a mae'n gwych, chymod, gwaith gyda fe.
Ac y blaenwyr wedyn yn dda iawn hefyd I fynd yn erbyn blaenwyr mowr Ffrainc. Pa o bles ddech chi fan nhw a beth arall angen wneud I ennill y gema?
Ie, chymod, mae'n rhaid I trial roi mae'n gymaint o pwysau nhw nawr a ddim roi, chymod, cadw disgyblaeth ni, cadw bel a trial reoli popeth.
Geraint, diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch yn fawr.
Geraint Lewis, the Welsh forwards coach, saying they'd have to keep their discipline, try and control possession. French could still be dangerous, and that could be proved here if they can get the breakout, but that pass looked to be forward. Now is there something for Wales on the counter-attack? David Hughes brought down by Voisin. French player being treated on that far side, but Lewis Hughes getting a chance to stretch his legs. Keelan Giles just stumbled, wasn't tackled, almost up to the 22. A rousing end to this game. Lewis Hughes back in possession.
Off the foot.
Can Wales free it from there? Looks as though it's got lost somewhere, and Wales have the penalty, and that, if it goes over, could take them 2 scores clear. Hands on the ground from Anthony Gelange, who looks incredulous, but Billy McBride will have a chance to go for the posts and put Wales 2 scores clear. Vital moment, Kerry.
Yeah, I think what's been good about this team, you know, even against the Scottish team as well, they've kept in the game right until the end. In the last 10 minutes, you know, they've really put their stamp on the game and come alive with their energy. They look really fit bunch of boys, but what they've done well, they've kept themselves in the game, and every opportunity then they've taken, they've kind of, you know, they're up to 6 points in front now. This kick will probably put the game out of sight for them. And just think a really mature performance by them again.
Tom Phillips then, the captain, young Scarlet. If this goes over, Wales should be able to see it out. Bride could probably do with taking his time. It's 36 metres if you include the angle. It's not the simplest of kicks with the pressure on. McBride, 3 penalties and a conversion already to his credit. This with 5 minutes left. It could be the kick that seals it for Wales, but it isn't.
Time off. Time off.
Agonising for McBride, for the whole Welsh team, and for the support.
The commentators cursing, Nick, I think.
Wait, 10 substitute.
I said it could be.
Yeah, he's had a good game today, though. I think he's played really well. You know, he's kicked very well today. That last try was, you know, as a result of his vision, really coming down the left-hand side and spotting the overlap.
Wales bringing on replacements. 21 is Declan Smith of the Scarlets. 22 is Kieran Williams of the Ospreys, making his debut. Declan Smith taking over from Ruben Morgan-Williams, who's again been lively, but Wales with a job to do. And it's not like that as Adam Beard spills it back to the French. They look to attack from everywhere in this remaining 4.5 minutes. They've got a big driving maul. French replacements as well. 22 is Penaud, son of Alain Damien Penaud. Advantage is over as Penaud gets his hands on the ball. Back in field from Couillou, the replacement scrum half. Couillou again, away this time.
Away now, 12!
Rudy in from the wing. Crowd claiming a forward pass, but Penaud's beaten one. That looked to have gone forward as well, but Wales have their hands on it through Declan Smith.
Use it.
Hughes had to take it on himself then, couldn't risk the pass outside. Discipline the key for Wales here. Can't afford to give away a penalty and risk a French kick to the corner, and that is where they want to be playing the ball. As Bureau sees the ball trickle back into 22, recovers well, collides with Giles. Welsh replacement, Smith and Williams getting their hands on the ball.
No!
Almost asking the referee if he could go through.
7 roll
Bad
away.
news then from Galway. The Ospreys going down to a 30-22 defeat away to Connacht. So that halting the Ospreys charge up the Pro 12 table. 3 minutes left in this one at Colwyn Bay. Can Wales keep control of the ball? Pick and drive is all they need, but it's difficult to play that for as long as this. And I think that could be an instant off the ball.
A little wipe, I think he picked him up, didn't he, and dropped him. Could be in a bit of trouble here.
Simon,
That sort of dump tackle thing.
the actions of number 4 red at that last breakdown clear out, please.
Sean, we're going to put it on the screen for you now.
I think it's 5, Adam Beard, who has cleared out Pierre Bougari. And that could be a yellow even.
It could be. He's gone in the last
Simon, I'm going to tell you
few
what I've
decisions,
seen.
I suppose. If he's being
I'll just watch this
fair
last
to both
replay.
sides, he maybe have to give him a yellow card.
Okay. Is it number 4 or 5 that does the
Made the
clean out,
most of it as
Simon?
well.
Okay, I see number 5.
Number 5.
I see number 5 red. He's cleared out a player from the breakdown. The player's legs have gone above the horizontal and he's landed on his back. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to restart play with a penalty.
It's just a penalty against Adam Beard,
Okay.
who might be rather fortunate there.
He might be a bit funny.
Clear out.
So Wales will have to do a bit of defence to do, but they'll have 15 men to do it with.
Yeah.
As France look to kick to the corner, but they've made a mess of it.
Stop.
And the ball back in French territory. Well, France could have had a driving line out from the 22 there, but
Away 13!
a rare kicking mistake from Bello, who has put Wales under pressure at times. They'll remain under pressure, though, with France looking to create a try-scoring opportunity in the next 2 minutes. Can Courier chopped down by Joe Thomas. It's a knock-on called.
Away
Lewis
19!
Hughes on his own 10-metre line.
Advantage over.
Not sure if that provided
Away,
any
Blue!
advantage at all to Wales.
Blue!
Didn't make any territory.
He's just got a minute and 20 seconds to kill. Just need to keep the ball, keep hold of the ball. Let's just go through their phases, just stack it up like they're doing. They're going to kick it away.
Smith bangs it downfield with Rudy finding Bureau, who finds space, runs round Hughes. Giles backtracking.
Advantage.
It's gone forward, and France blowing what could be a final chance. Kerry Sweeney, this has been a performance full of character from the youngsters. An excellent try from George Gasson to put Wales back into the lead, but they've lived on the edge at times.
They have, but I think, you know, they've done it well, and they've taken a lot of pressure off the French team. You know, they've turned that around. They haven't conceded a try in the first half, and they've kind of put their game back onto France. So they, you know, I think they played really well again tonight. Like I said earlier, they've stayed in the game and they've taken their opportunities when they come, and I think they deserve the win.
So it looks like Wales will be heading to Bristol against an England side who only have one win out of their first 3 games, having lost at home to Ireland at Newcastle. Billy McBride is man of the match for Wales.
You'd be happy with his performance tonight, you know, especially after coming on late in the last game and kicking the winning goal. He's had an opportunity tonight. I think he stood up there, you know, he's played well in the shirt, he's kind of controlled the game well, and he's kicked well.
Fine. Set.
You'll be able to follow the under-20s game between England and Wales on BBC Radio Wales, as Wales look to see this one out against France.
Away, Blue! Off your
Kenny
feet, Blue,
leading
please.
the charge. French scrambling for possession. Wales have the penalty. And that looks like being the decision that sees the Welsh youngsters get 3 out of 3. A really battling victory against a powerful French unit. Wales have taken their chances and they've come through. with a third victory. England to come, but it's finished at Parc Airias with Wales victorious through the boot of Billy McBride and the try from George Gasson. It is finished with Wales victorious by 16 points to 10.